Hi everyone. Good evening, according to the time here. And we have Helena Pekova who's joined us from Prague. Students who are here and students will be joining in. I met Helena when I was attending the IAVG summit at Bratislava, and it was a huge summit with, I think, more than 400 career counselors from all over the world, and a lot of learning. And I also did 2 days session where I traveled and was at a school, and subsequently I was at an NGO, and we saw hands on what is happening in the field of career counseling. And I also appreciate European Union puts in a good amount of funding for career counseling which flows into the government system. I think Nirja, hello, you're saying hello, so hello to you also. So today we have Helena Pekova with us. Helena is a career counselor who has been working for the last 5 years in the field of career counseling, and she brings a very unique approach to career counseling. How do you understand yourself as an individual? How do you match up yourself with your interest, abilities, and personality? And then how do you move forward? And today, of course, the discussion is on how do you create your own personal brand? How do you build up on networking? How do you build up a CV? Yeah. So with this, I'd like to welcome Helena to the show. Helena, it is all yours, and floor is open. Please.
Thank you for having me. I will share my screen because I prepared a presentation for you.
Yes.
So now you can see. So, hello everybody. Again, thank you for having me. My name is Helena, and today I would like to share with you some basics of personal branding for students because I see this topic as really crucial, especially when you are still a student. So, just to quickly add something about me. I gained my bachelor degree at the Czech Technical University in Prague because I live in Prague. And right now I'm finishing my master's degree. I started my career in HR during my bachelor cycle, and then I joined a university career center. And newly, I have joined the international office. So I'm responsible for offline and online promotion of Erasmus program and generally speaking, community building. And I'm also a member of your guidance center, which aim is to foster lifelong career development. And lastly, I would love to mention that I had the opportunity to study or work abroad in South Korea, UK, Netherlands, and Bosnia and Herzegovina. And I would really encourage you to go and study and work abroad if you have any chance. So let's dive into the topic personal branding. I would love to have this session as much interactive as possible as we are here on YouTube and streaming. So I also have the chat box open on my next screen. So I would love to ask you the first question to hear your opinion and ideas. What does personal branding mean to you? And really, please share your ideas and opinion with us, with me, and with us. To start with the question, what is personal branding for me? For me, personal branding is about presenting myself, is about creating a brand around me. It's the way how I want to be seen by others. And it means to constantly work on my reputation. Why I see this crucial, especially for students, because in terms of your career, it can help you to get a job, to get involved in projects, to show your expertise, your skills, and generally it can bring you more opportunities in your field of study or even outside it. And in terms of career, what is really important is your personal brand, your strong personal brand helps recruiters to find you as a student. So I was thinking about the way how to start. So I what came up to my mind were 4 steps which I would love to share with you. And number one would be to think about yourself. So I would really recommend you to write down your skills, your values, to think about your personality. So, as I said, to think about the way how you want to be seen by others and try to find something unique about you, something that would distinguish you from others. It can be that you like specific colors for dresses, or you like wearing funny looking glasses and such. And then really think about your why. So, why you want to work on your personal brand? What is your motivation? And also, what do you want to achieve with building your personal brand? So, what is your why? Really think about it in the beginning. And then I would move on the step two, which would be an audience. So, who is your target group? Who is your audience? Well, what you can share with them and why they should follow you. Number three would be inspiration. So, who is already successfully building a personal brand and has similar audience, same as you? So, check what he or she does online and offline, how she or he builds his or her personal brand, and just monitor people around you. And
Helena,
number four, yes.
uh, are you sharing these slides? Because the slides are not moving.
Slides, yes, I'm sharing.
Can you do it once more? Because it
Okay,
is not
so
on full screen mode.
okay,
Share
let me
screen.
do it again. Here, share screen, share here. Now, can you see it?
Can you go back to the browser once? Browser.
Okay.
Go into the browser. Share
Yes.
screen.
Share screen, share screen.
And then from the Windows tab,
Yes.
select the slideshow one.
Yes, I'm doing it.
Because what we are seeing is we are seeing this part. We are not seeing it as in the presentation mode.
Okay.
So can you do it? Can you press F5? F5 on the top of your keyboard.
I see what you. Yeah, I know what you mean. Let me do it. So
it is gone.
Okay. Yeah, because when I put full screen, it just escaped. So maybe if you don't mind, can I have it like this? Is it visible for you?
This is how it is showing.
Yeah, and is it visible for you?
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay.
So your slide. So can you change? Try changing one slide once.
If it's fine for you like this, because when I change it to full screen,
yeah, it is fine. I think yeah.
Yeah, okay, because then it escaped, so I don't know what's the problem. So if you don't mind, I will have it like this.
That's fine.
And continue. So for this step number 4, it would be time dedicated and creating a plan. So it means how much time you want to dedicate on building your personal brand and where you want to focus. It means, again, write down if you want to be on LinkedIn or start your own blog or podcasts, or you want to be on other social media. And think about offline opportunities with networking, such as conferences or even volunteering, because these go hand in hand with what you want to share. And whether you feel like you have something to share, then write articles as an examples and really create a plan, for instance, for next 3 months, and mark opportunities to take part. You can take part in and start building your brand step by step and be consistent. And also be patient because personal branding needs time. So it is a long-term process. And also here I put SMART goals. So I'm not sure if you are familiar with SMARTing goals, but SMART is an acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely goals. It means that specific, it means that your goals should be well defined. For measurable, it means that your goals should have specific criteria you can measure. For achievable, it means that it's possible to achieve this goal. Realistic, I guess it's clear. And for timely, it means that you should have defined a timeline. So to give you an example, I have a goal, let's say I want to be active on LinkedIn. And to transfer this goal with smarting goals, you can say, I want to write a post once a week on LinkedIn about events and news in my major, in my expertise, plus add 2 people, 2 new connections to start building my network. So can you please say the acronym for SMART again? Sure. So it's specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. You can just Google this, so you will also find more information about SMARTing goals. So this is the acronym I use with my students when we are setting goals. So I would say it's really, really useful. So about your resume, I have another question for you. If you want to add your ideas and leave comments in the chat box, what do you see as the most important part of resume? What do you see as the most important part? To start generally about resume, what is the point of CV? I guess you know it, but just to sum it up, just to say it out loud for us, it's to stand out generally. It's to introduce your personality, your experience, your uniqueness. And bear it in mind and try to keep your resume visually simple. Of course, unless you are a graphic designer or architect or something like that, then you should show your creativity for sure. And of course, grammatically correct. This is also something really important for students, what I see, and it happens a lot that resumes are not grammatically correct. So try to do like double check with your friends or somebody else to check the grammar. And in case you are a student or a fresh graduate, your CV should not exceed 1 page, specifically, I would say, for the Czech Republic and generally for the middle of Europe. This is what I usually focus on. So it should not be longer than 1 page. But generally speaking, what matters is the readability of your CV, that it's simple, and then that you include everything which is relevant. I would recommend to have a draft of your CV with all experience, and then every time you have a position or project or a university college you want to apply for, you should create a personalized CV using the draft you have. And so what I usually do with my students, that the personalized CV should be written according to the job description or according to information you can find about the school, about the job position. And then we highlight keywords such as specific competencies or work experience. And in case they are fit with what we have with competencies and experience we have, then just don't forget to add them in your CV. So what to include and not include? Contact details, which is something I would start with. Just what we just do is for contact details, we only add a name, email address, and a phone number. And these are information we usually only have in contact details. For us, anything else is just something you can add, but it's not necessary. And it is highly recommended to insert buttons, for example, for LinkedIn profile or GitHub if your major is IT, or a personal website if you have some. And in case you have a professional photo, then also edit, because I know that some HR professionals, they prefer a CV with a photo and some not. But the thing is that for me, photo helps to have the CV more personalized in a way that it's not only a paper, but it's that there's somebody behind the paper, if you know what I mean. And the main idea is to use only a professional photo. So please avoid selfies or a photo where you are with somebody else or you are not recognizable. Then there's an important section, I think is maybe the most important section, especially what I see as career counselor when I work with students, and it's about section. If now it may be more like theoretical for you, but don't worry. I will, at the end of this slide, I will show with you and share with you how my draft CV looks like, so you can see the structure and just to see what I'm talking about. So the about section is a chance to introduce yourself in several accurate sentences, which can be pretty hard for you to come up with only several sentences. And it is a place where you have a chance to summarize what you have done in your professional life so far, your current and future plans and goals. And in case you are just not sure what to write and you are unsure how to think about this section, you can Google the term elevator speech. I will also mention this term in a bit when I'm going to talk about networking. And then, of course, work experience and education. In case of students, we usually place first education section. And of course, don't forget to mention anything interesting about your education, such as diploma thesis, study abroad, etc. And for work experience, try to write down your major agenda for each job position. So not to have it more about like buttons with your job description, but more try to name competencies you have gained in a way that some questions may help you, such as what are your responsibilities? Do you work with any computer program? What have you learned so far on this job position? What have become thanks to your contribution in the company and such? And my experience with students is that some of them think that only work experience can be gained through full-time or part-time jobs. But it's not true, because actually there are far more ways how to gain experience, such as school projects, competitions, and non-profit projects, internships, volunteering, student organizations, and such. And all these are potential source of experience which can be translated into competencies such as teamwork, programming skills, ability to communicate with customers, and such. And then, as you can guess, language and computer skills. So in Europe, we usually translate language skills into according to Common European Framework from A1, which is beginner, to C2, which is native speaker. And you can also add that you are currently learning a language, or you've got a certificate, or for instance, academic German or academic English, which is also an advantage for you. And then computer skills, which cover all programming languages, graphic skills, managing of social media accounts, Canva, WordPress for websites, and such. And I have heard some opinions that it is quite old-fashioned to add Microsoft Office or any kind of tool you use for drafting presentations and documents, that all students know it. But I would definitely add it in my CV in case I'm advanced. So for example, in Excel, if I know some advanced functions, I would also mention it. And then in case you have any experience with volunteering, efforts, projects, or you have also hobbies for sure, you should also add it. So volunteering is a, I would say, worthwhile experience that shows your openness to help others without a financial reward, and also your motivation to work on yourself in your free time. So it can be tutoring, having an Instagram profile about, let's say, ecology or something like that. And projects mean, for instance, that you have your own personal blog. And when I mention hobbies, it is also specific because, for example, I do personally like hobbies in CVs because I see it as a way for, let's say, an icebreaker at a job interview, and the possibility to find what we have in common with a candidate or with a student. And of course, after you are hired, it can also help to get to know other colleagues that you already shared your hobbies. And here at the end of slide, you can see that I added some online tools for creating CVs. I personally really love Flow CV. It's of course for free, or you can also use Canva. If you know this tool, you can also create a resume there. And now let me show you here my CV. I created this CV in Flow CV. Can you now see the resume page?
No. Can you share your screen once more?
Okay. Let me share it. Now you can see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so here, this is my draft CV, as I mentioned, that I have one. It's 2-page long, but it's only a draft. So when I have a project I would like to apply for, I have this draft and I create a personalized CV. So here is my summary or about section. So in case I have something like complex about myself, but in case I have a project I would like to apply for, I would use some keywords from job description and edit here. So for example, I'm a career counselor and now I would like to gain new experience, let's say in internationalization. That's why I'm applying for a position at international office. So this can be an example. So as I said, I created this in Flow CV, which I mentioned is a great tool. So here you can just see the structure. Here you can see the buttons I mentioned, a photo, some summary, education, work experience. Then you can add other work experience. For me, it's more like personal projects, internships, volunteering, projects, other volunteering, skills, interests, and articles if you have any. Okay, and now let me go back to the presentation. Yes, so also about cover letter, because in case you want to apply for a university abroad, I guess that you would need to write a cover letter, which is something that come along with the resume. So in case you are applying for a university, as I said, you usually should deliver some kind of motivation letter. So it's something where you should express your reasons for applying, as you may guess. And you may experience that companies or universities usually mention several questions or point to include in your cover letter. So be sure to include all of them. And in case there are no questions or points for the structure, it should be the short introduction about the position or college where you are applying, and about you, and then why you are interested to join. Also, generally the company, not only the position. Then how your background fit to that position or to that college, and what do you like to learn, which is also really important. And at the end, you can mention that you just look forward to meeting the in person to talk more about the possibilities. Okay, let's continue with LinkedIn profile. In case you have just any question, don't hesitate to ask in chat box. So LinkedIn, again, my question, if you want to share, is, are you on LinkedIn? And if so, how do you use it? So I would really love to see any comments from you about LinkedIn, if you are on LinkedIn, and if so, how do you use it? As you may guess, LinkedIn is a professional networking platform, and in case you have already created a profile, you can easily start building your profile. So first, as you can guess, a photo is the same principle as I mentioned with CV, with resume. It should be professional, you should be recognizable. So it can be from, let's say, from your head up to your elbow, let's say. Then a background photo, which is something you can add, but you don't have to. And it can be a photo which is showing your school you are studying in, or projects you are involved in, or anything else. Then a headline. This is something really important, because headline is something that it's let's say one statement that introduces you, and beside the photo, it is the first thing that other users can see. So do not only write a student, I'm a student, but try to have it more complex. So it can be an example like, instead of I'm a student, you can write aspiring IT student with a focus in artificial intelligence, searching for a summer internship abroad in data mining, it is pretty close to smarting goals, if you can see it here. But yeah, so try to keep it like this instead of just having something like a student. Yeah, and thank you for sharing. LinkedIn used to find a job, right job or internship, connect, and strengthen professional relationship. Yeah, exactly. Then summary is the same for about section in resume. So this is also important. And think about this as a place where you can share your story. So include what you study, why you study what you study, how you think about your future career, what you search for, what your skills are, what you can offer to potential clients or employers, customers, colleagues, and such, and for sure at your contact details. And use your resume to add work experiences, language skills, education, and other categories like languages, volunteering, courses, accomplishments, and such. And here on the screen, you can see two features, open to work and providing services, which is, I think it's quite new, especially the providing services feature. And also there is a skills assessment, which is an online test on LinkedIn, which enable you to demonstrate the level of your skills. And it can also, it's like a kind of booster of your profile. You can verify the skills you are mentioning on your profile. So to open to work, you can just set an alert that you are open to specific kind of jobs, and then it's showing to recruiters that when they search specific keywords, your profile can show up like upper in search. And for providing services, in case you already have something you can offer to potential clients, like, as I mentioned, graphic design and such, you can also create a providing services page for this feature, where you can add references from your clients or colleagues or customers. And you can also use media. So again, a nice way how to show your work online. And again, you can set specific keywords for services you are providing. And a recommendation from colleagues, customers, clients, professors is something which can also boost your profile. So don't hesitate to ask your professors, colleagues, or classmates or clients to write a recommendation for you. I see one question. I will just finish with the last point and then I will quickly answer the question. So, how to use LinkedIn? Of course, for personal branding, as you may guess, so for your profile. Then for searching for a job, so you can again set some alerts, or you can browse companies' websites and check their open positions. You can also, after creating a profile, you can, when you are ready, when your profile is ready, not just a photo and just basic information, you can even apply for a position through LinkedIn, directly through LinkedIn, which is also great. And then it's great for posting articles, so your activity on personal branding for sure, sharing articles, comments, likes, and such. And of course, it's great for networking, for creating a network. And I would really say that, or I really think that it's crucial to start building your network right after you are in college. So start today, if it's possible, to start to build your network, like step by step, to search for your professors on LinkedIn, to search for your classmates or colleagues or anybody else you would like to follow and stay in touch with. I will be talking about networking in a bit, but it is, of course, great to add people you met, for example, on conferences or on online webinars and such. And I would say that it is really crucial to always write a note, not just send the connection request, but always write a note. For example, hi David, we met today during the conference about I don't know, personal branding. It was great to talk to you, and I remember we were talking about that you are launching summer internships this year. So I would like to stay in touch with you and see what the opportunities will be, for example. And that's it. And then you can send a connection request. And also, you can actively search for people on LinkedIn. So you can, through just normal searching with and or requests, you can search, for example, a student and Czech Technical University in Prague and, I don't know, career counselor. And then you will see profiles of other people. And let me see the question. Thanks for the presentation. I'm about to switch to a different country for my master's. Can you please give your views on how to network with people from that country apart from LinkedIn? Okay, apart from LinkedIn, I would check if there are any expat community, for example, on Facebook, because when I was in the Netherlands a few years ago to do my Erasmus internship, I checked the expats community on the website of the city and also on Facebook. And there is always also in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and you wouldn't even guess there is an expat community, but even there was a Facebook group called like Foreigners in Banja Luka, that was the name of the city, or expats in Amersfoort, that was the city in the Netherlands. So that's the first thing that came up to my mind when I see your question, to try to search for experts communities to foreign students. So especially for your masters, don't hesitate to ask international office about students clubs which are open to international students. There is always something like international student club, or just something which is really similar, or like ISEC, EISTE, which we have here in Europe. I'm not sure, to be honest, about Asia, but for sure, students clubs, experts communities can be the great start. And then other options for your personal branding. I already mentioned LinkedIn. I already mentioned creating your own website or writing articles. In case your major is, for example, architecture, art, or graphic design, it is a good idea to have online portfolio with examples of your work. And you can also link this with LinkedIn for sure. Where else you can be? Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and other social media, But there's one thing. Always bear in mind that each social media has its specific purpose and target group and functionalities and such. So as you may guess, Instagram is about nice pictures, whereas TikTok is more about short videos. And on Facebook, you have space for writing a longer text in your post. So just bear in mind this when you are thinking about which kind of social media you want to focus on when building your personal brand. Okay, now we have networking, which is a huge topic, I would say. So again, a question for you, if you want to think about it and share, how do you use networking in your professional life? How do you use networking in your professional life? What would you answer? To share my point of view, networking is for sure establishing a long-term relationship of mutual benefit with people you meet in different places. Mutual, I would highlight this word because it is not only about that you need something from the person, but you should be also beneficial for the other party, for the other person. So, besides practicing the communication skills, increasing confidence, possibility to meet potential clients, customers, employers, mentors, you stay updated in the latest news in your major. That I would say is the main benefits, especially what I see for networking. So, to talk more about networking skills, these are competencies you need to have to maintain your professional or social contacts. Regarding communication skills, I remember I got one advice when I was doing my bachelor degree. When you have an opportunity to present, then do it. So don't be afraid and step out of your comfort zone and practice. And it is great to practice, to be honest, with your friends, not just at school, but also with your friends. You can just record yourself while talking, and then you can check it with your friends and talk about it, talk about what you can improve, for example. And then active listening. Try to really pay attention to people you are talking to and listening to, and because you may not even realize that, but it is visible, it is really visible for the speaker if you are actively listening, or you just got distracted by anything else in your surroundings. So try more listening and less speaking. And we all know this, but let's just think about for a second. If you do some kind of self-reflection after an event, that you were truly listening to people, you were asking questions, you showed empathy, and they think about how you can beneficial, how you can be beneficial for others. Because even if you feel like you don't have anything to share to be helpful at the moment, you may at least know somebody else, and then your skill is to link people, which is a great skill, to link people that could cooperate together. And there is one term connected to networking I already mentioned, elevator speech. I can also write it in the comment area afterwards if you like. So elevator speech is something really, really important. Generally speaking, elevator speech is a short presentation about yourself, and it is short enough to be said in up to 1 minute, to be presented during an elevator ride. That's why it's elevator speech. And bear in mind that it is something that creates a first impression about you. So it's just a quick summary about your background, about your experience. So you should include your past. That's the first thing. So what you have already achieved, gained, done, then present, who you are, what you want to do, what you are, what you do, and then your future, which means your goals, what you want to do, and your vision. And then, especially for the future part, I see a potential of tailoring your talk, as I showed you in my CV, according to the situation you are in. You can use your elevator speech in CV, LinkedIn, personal website, meetups, conferences, job interviews. Like the main question is, tell me about yourself. So it's really great to have something like that in your mind. When it comes to elevator speech, another thing I have in my mind is something which is called small talk. So it is great after saying your elevator speech, if there is a chance to ask also a question to people or to the person you are talking to. So it can be something like working on anything exciting now, or how do you know the host when it's on a conference or some kind of event, or how is the food, or how is the drink, or something like that, or what do you read now? Was the book you would recommend me to read, or something like that, or something more deeper, which can be what is the best piece of advice you have ever received. So that's another example. Where to network, I guess it's already clear, but it can be conferences, courses, webinars, workshops, job fairs at school, because there is always something which is called coffee breaks or something like that, which you can just grab a cup of coffee or cup of tea and mingle with others. So you should know what kind of events you are attending. I guess it's clear. Think about your goal for that event. If you want to find a job, if you want to meet a potential mentor, or you just want to mingle with others. And you can for sure have your CV with you, but another thing I want to share with you is to have your contact details ready, and you can do it through a QR code generator. So one example, I created a QR code with my contact details. So I have it in my phone, just generated QR code with my contact details, put it in, and when somebody just scan it, they can instantly see my contacts and just add it into their phone. And do not be sad if somebody just don't want to talk with you on a conference or on an event, or just it's not always great, so just start step by step and be patient, as I mentioned. And one last thing for networking is that I would really recommend to you as students to connect with other students and search for professional organizations in your major. So personally, it helped me a lot to get to know professionals, not only in my republic, in my major, And if you had a chance to try volunteering on a conference that would be otherwise really expensive and costly, then definitely try and do volunteering. Okay, let me just quickly sum it up. That I see that I been talking for a long time now. I hope you are not tired from my talk. Just to sum it up, I want to mention several things. So create a persona. I mean, you as a persona. So what you can share with others, how you want to be seen. You can, for instance, create your own logo in Canva, your signature, use same colors or fonts. Then have a plan. So what you want to share, time you want to dedicate, which platform you want to be on, and have clear goals using SMARTing goals. Then work with your own story, so storytelling, for example, on LinkedIn or in CV. Be consistent, monitor other people with strong personal branding in your major, interact with others, have your portfolio ready, so keep your resume and LinkedIn profile up to date and always personalize it. Be prepared in advance if you're attending any kind of online or in person event. Try to find as much information as you can. Find a mentor, for example, through LinkedIn, in case you have something to learn or ask him or her. And in case you have any questions and you don't want to ask now, you can for sure add me on LinkedIn and ask through LinkedIn. And really, I would encourage you to ask anything you would like to ask and add it in the comment box. And this would be from my side. So I would stop sharing.
That's great, Helena. That was amazing, and I think very much in detail. I can see some very dedicated students who are there all the time, and they were listening to you. Just to add a couple of things, students, particularly for networking, because a lot of students ask me, and I tell them about specific events here in India you can participate in. So let's say you are an IT guy. One of the best networking event or events, two events are NASSCOM Emerge Out. So NASSCOM is a software body, and they have an event called Emerge Out, where a lot of new companies or even a big multinational company's new division. So they're talking about new products, you're talking about new launches, new businesses, and so on. So NASSCOM Emerge Out is something which you can go for. India Internet World, I hope it again restarts. During Corona, it was not happening. So I hope again it restarts. So Indian Internet World is another thing which you can look at. Similarly, you have, if you look at Startup Saturdays, all over the world, you have Startup Saturday every second Saturday. So, like for people in Delhi, you can do Startup Saturday Delhi or Startup Saturday Gurgaon. People in Mumbai, Startup Saturday Mumbai. So wherever you are, you can hunt for a Startup Saturday. In India, I know like at least there are 20 different branches. Happens every second Saturday all over the world. Startup Saturday, London, New York, everything it is there. So what do you do when you go to a Startup Saturday? You hear entrepreneurs, you understand from them, you network with the right set of people. There are people who want to start up, there are people who want to, who are already started. There are at times Indian investors. So you get to meet very, very different kind of crowd in Startup Saturday. And same concept is there of Startup Grind also. Startup Grind. There are a lot of meetups which are happening, so you can check meetups. It can be very, very different meetup. Like again in India, there is BNI. So BNI is Business Network International. Their objective is to help people meet up with each other. So BNI kind of networks again you can join to build up your networking. For people who are in college, so college events, inter-college events. On Monday, I'm doing an event at Sukhdev College of Business Studies. There'll be people from diverse background. So such events add a lot of value to you. So Auto Expo, for example, if I want to go and talk to people in automobile industry, so Auto Expo is happening, so I should definitely go there. I would get very senior people at the expo. I would get marketing heads. I might get technical people. I can just go and interact with them. So apart from online networking, I think these physical events are pretty good. I just went to sometime back. I went to Gulf Expo, and I could meet I could meet the education minister of our country, not only our country, three other countries also. Yeah, which otherwise it is so difficult to meet them. Yeah, but I just participated, and at the end I just went and said some things. I did raise a question so they could kind of connect with me, and whatever work I had, subsequently I followed up with their people. So, so any kind of expos or fairs, such events are really, really useful in networking. Uh, Check out IIC in your Habitat Center. Every evening you have some other events happening there. So again, these are good places for informal networking, or management associations, engineers association. So those kind of associations are also useful for any form of networking. One quick this thing. So LinkedIn is a medium which is a professional medium. So keep it professional. Sometimes people try to get too pally and to this thing. So watch out for it. I mean, it's not a medium to kind of make friends. Of course, it might happen that you professionally connect with somebody and you develop a friendship, but normally LinkedIn is a professional medium. So idea is to keep it that way. So that is one. And of course you could connect with your alumni is a huge source of networking, huge. So keep on connecting with alumni from your school, college, or where you've done your masters from. So all these will contribute immensely. I'm thankful to Helena for taking out time and contributing to this webinar. I think the students received really well, and we look forward to more such webinars, Helena.
Thank
I
you.
would Great. I think we've done almost 50 minutes. That's a lot of time. And students, thanks for attending. I wish you all the best, and time for us to go now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye bye.